What's up guys, it's Time once again, and I'm here today to do one of my companion videos that I do occasionally. It's a bit late actually, but I didn't really have time to do it yesterday. So, last Wednesday I suppose, we had a pretty good chapter. Obviously the end of Komamura versus Bambietta for now, but probably forever. And then the arrival of Renji and Rukia, which is probably the most major thing. And that's kind of where I want to start this video as opposed to predictions. Not necessarily for next week, because I'm pretty certain they won't arrive properly next week. That could be the end of the chapter, but I don't think they'll be here properly. Because like I said, they can only just see the Soul Society. So I still think it'll take them a little while to get there. Now, some people have said, why hasn't Ichigo caught them up yet? Because he's supposed to be able to do this in because if you consider, they were in Ichibe's palace. I think we need to kind of work a time frame out for this, because it's been confusing a lot of people on the forums. So about they were in Ichibe's palace at about chapter 545. We can take this to be maybe about 5 hours, I would say, before. Well, obviously, no, this is before the invasion begins, so it's at least 3 hours away from now. So I'd say it's probably about 5 hours away. It kind of depends on the time difference between, 545 and 546, doesn't it? I mean, clearly there's not a lot of time difference, because Shinsui arrives at the end of one and straight into the beginning of the next one. But regardless, there is not a lot of time here in between. So Rukia and Renji, they probably finish up their training about 545, I would say, because presumably Ichibe is the last palace. And then they go. So it's taken them a couple of hours, 5 hours, I would say, tops, to reach Soul Society. So why on earth was Korinji saying it's going to take you about half a week? Was he joking, maybe? I don't know, possibly, but that's weird. But then there is the question as to why Ichigo hasn't caught them up yet, because he's supposed to be super fast, unless they've received massive speed power-ups as well. That's the only thing I can think of. Obviously, Kubo's hyping up Byakuya's return. Although I still think Byakuya will arrive before Ichigo, which creates another problem in and of itself. But about Renji and Rukia, they look kind of cool. We can't really see Renji, but he has a shawl on, which kind of has tiger stripes on it or something like that, which someone pointed out is what he was. It's kind of similar to what he was wearing on his shoulder when he fought Byakuya in the Soul Society arc, so that'd be pretty neat. I think Renji's going to reveal his new Bankai, and I think it's going to be primarily the ape part of his Zanpakuto, because his old Bankai was the snake pretty much, with just the ape's kind of the shawl on his shoulders. I think it's kind of going to be the other way around. I think we're going to have a massive ape behind him. But probably the more interesting thing is that Rukia appears to be wearing. I didn't actually pick up on this on my review. I got this after reading it again. Rukia is wearing snow goggles. She has proper goggles on, and some kind of scarf, and she seems to be wearing a snow hat as well, because of the little furry things coming down. Which obviously snow and Rukia is an obvious correlation. Rukia is an ice Zanpakuto, so that leads me to believe she has a Bankai. Why? Well, I don't know, the fact that she's wearing all these snow clothes makes me think that she's now giving off this really, really cold Reiatsu. Really cold Reiatsu. I would kind of imagine when she lands in Soul Society and maybe removes it, everything's just going to freeze around her. That would be sweet. I think she probably has a Bankai. I mean, you don't go, she's pretty powerful as it is, you don't go to the Royal Realm and get trained by the Royal Guard and don't get something pretty spectacular out of it, you would think. So, and a Bankai is just a natural evolution of Rukia's character. As for what I think her Bankai will be, I'd like to call it now that her Bankai will be some form of ice scythe, or just a scythe in general, to hark back to the original design that she was going to have before Kubo scrapped it. I think that's almost guaranteed if she has a Bankai. So yeah, I think she'll have a Bankai. I think Renji will show off his new Bankai. As for who they fight, I don't know. I kind of want to say that Renji will try and fight as not, but then Master Masculine will intervene. Can you imagine if Renji tried to attack Az? and then Mask tried to drop kick him again, but Renji was like, "Fuck you, bitch," and just kind of smacked him. That'd be amazing. That'd be so cool. I can kind of see something like that happening, actually. I can see Renji squaring off with Mask. You would think Mask would be similar to S the strength, but that's really obvious. I mean, I kind of know that Explode was obvious in the end, and so is the Fear, so it could easily be the strength, I suppose. But I don't know if we're going to go straight to Renji or Rukia. There's like so much to see. I want to see Hashworth and Shinsui. I want to see what Askin's doing. I want to see what Miuri and Urahara are doing now. If we want to take the 9-day time thing literally, then the first day is almost over. So what's happened in that time? Well, 4 captains are down, which is pretty bad news, actually. Toshiro, Komamura, Soifon, and Shinji. Shinji's guaranteed to be up on his feet pretty soon, though. He's got a bang kind of show off. And only 1 Sturmitra is down, Bambietta. And I would say she's pretty much down for the count. It's really difficult to say what her little mates are going to do. That's still the most intriguing part of the chapter. There's been so many theories. I said in my review, I think that they're going to eat her. I'm not too sure about that anymore. Lots of people have been saying they're going to assimilate her, like absorb her into themselves or something like that. One of the comments of the week has a pretty good theory, so I'll bring that up in a bit. As for Komamura himself, though, let's talk about Komamura. Iba makes it sound like they're going to go fight Yharvak. Now, I really don't think that's the case. I kind of thought he was just talking in general. The Shinigami will beat the crap out of him for Yamamoto. Because there's no way Iba can generally believe they're going to beat Yharvak. As for Komamura's transformation, I do kind of wish it lasted a little bit longer. But at the same time, I think Kubo's got a lot to get around as well. I think he's going to try and do pretty much every character justice. At least a bit, anyway. And that includes the Sturmitra as well, for the most part. So I think we're going to see a lot from them as well, I hope. Yeah, but that's kind of it, really. I mean, like, predictions next week, you really have no idea, unless it does literally go straight to Renji and Rukia, which I would be surprised. We've still yet to see anything from the Huecamundo gang, we've still yet to see anything from Execution and the Shibas, so I'd love to see any of that. Obviously, the wild cards that are Aizen and Kenpachi, they're probably the 2 wild cards at the moment. And then there's also the missing Sturmitra, the ones we haven't seen yet at all, like C. Well, we might have seen C, but there's a good 3 Sturmitra, I think it is, that we've just not seen yet. We've got, obviously, Shaz, Colonel Sanders, and Geh, who we know have letters. But I think that means we're missing about 4 still that we haven't seen yet, so you would think Kubo must be saving them for something, but I was actually saying to my friend earlier, Kuda9613, that I really hope Sturmitra C is an old woman, because Kubo never draws old women, and like, that'd be just neat to see. And I know there's no power hierarchy, blah 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 blah, but it would be cool to have another woman in the top 10 or whatever it is, aside from Bambietta. But I'd also like to see an old woman, just because all of the Bambietta girls have been basically the same character so far, in terms of they're just these young kind of schoolyard clique of girls. So I'd love to see another one that's completely different. But yeah, I mean, as far as predictions for next week go, it's really hard to say. I'd like to see. I can imagine if he is going to focus on people, the next set of people is going to be Kensei and Hisagi, probably. Maybe we'll finally get Rose, Basby. Come on, Kubo, just do it for God's sake. Basby's left the Toshiro fight now, so let him run into Rose. That'd be amazing. Finally get confirmation on Kira's state. I'm pretty sure he's dead. I can envision. I think I might have mentioned this in my review. I can envision like Hisagi versus Aznot, because obviously Kubo has been showing us so far the Sturmitra who stole the Bankai, BG9, Kangdu, and Bambietta. Yet he's really neglected to do anything with Aznot so far. I mean, I know he's clearly hyping him up alongside Byakuya, but I think now would be a good time to show a little bit of light on what Aznot's been up to, other than just kind of apparently walking around. So he could fight Hisagi. Hisagi could do Bankai. I think that'd be cool, because they've got the fear motif going on, but Aznot would probably defeat him, I think. And then Byakuya could come in. But like I said, I don't think Byakuya's going to come in for a while, so he could always have Hisagi and Az fight for a bit, and then it cut away something else. Like I said, I'd like to see what Askin's up to. There's just so much to see. It's very hard to call where it's going to go. All we know is it's a relative certainty that Rukia and Renji are going to do something pretty soon. And I called the Bankais. That's what I think it's going to be. So yeah, I think everyone would be pretty disappointed if Rukia didn't have a Bankai. So yeah, so Tom's comment of the week, got 2 again as usual. The first one's from Xavier Derpington, thanks for your comment, and he says, I hate it what Kubo has done to Komamura. In my opinion, it would be better if Komamura transformed back into his anthropomorphic form and died while fighting Yuharvark and died an honourable death. Interesting, there's been a lot of contention on this point, actually. Lots of people found last week's chapter really sad, that's you know, understandable. Because Komamura seems to get a fate worse than death. I didn't pick up on this on my review either, but I don't think he can speak anymore. And a lot of people are saying that maybe the dogs, not the wolves, can only speak to each other. Because his grandfather says, like, you'll become a silent, voiceless beast, which is really bad. I mean, Komamura, he might have defeated his opponent, but he can't catch a break. But yeah, so that would be really interesting. Komamura is not going to be a captain anymore. I was kind of set on Komamura dying. I really thought he was going to die. And yeah, I kind of agree, actually, Xavier. I do kind of agree. It's like I don't really know what he's going to do with Komamura anymore. Does anyone really want to see Komamura like living in exile with the rest of his clan? No one wants to see that. Everyone would have rather see Komamura die with honor or something like that. But you know, Kubo must have an idea or something. And then the next comment of the week is by Sonia Skyfan112, and this is the one about Bambietta. It says, I think they're just split personalities of Bambietta, and they're going back to their original owner to power her up, like Stark and Lilinet. So thanks for your comment. That is an interesting theory. It's potentially, it could be right. But I don't know if I want to see a rehash of Stark and Lilinet again. And the only reason I don't like that theory is because I know I bash the Serenity Girls all the time, but I want to see them fight. If anything, because any Serenity power time is good power time. But also, just, it will keep Bleach going longer. No, but also to see their letters, and I think I asked what letter would they be then. So, yeah, I don't see Kubo skimping on 4 letters like that. That would be kind of crap. So yeah, but I mean, I don't know. It's all possible, I suppose. But then why would Bambietta not want that? And I don't know. It's likely to happen because they're clearly their own personalities. You know, like Giselle says something like, you know, it's not as fun without you here. So that sounds like they were worried she was going to die. So they're going to do something sinister to keep her around. But I don't know. I mean, she didn't look like she was going to die to me. She was just, but you know, whatever. But that's it this week, guys, really. Don't forget to subscribe to my videos. Please subscribe. I've nearly got 400, and I'd love to reach it. That'd be amazing. If we could reach 400 by Christmas, that'd be great. But other than that, guys, just have a great weekend, and I shall catch you next week. There's probably not going to be a companion video next weekend, because I'm very busy next weekend. But there might be. You never know. There might be. We'll see. We'll see. But there'll definitely be a review on Wednesday. So I shall catch you for that. So, yeah. See you later, guys.